Hey, what's going on guys, Impulse here and welcome back to another top 5 list. This list will consist of my top 5 Pokemon from this specific typing on this list. The Pokemon on this list are based on their stats, their design, how I use them in gameplay and because of the anime as well. Before we go any further, I want to point out that only a Pokemon's primary typing counts. So taking the Dark type list as an example and Houndoom as the Pokemon, we can see that Houndoom is a primary Dark type, which means it's eligible for the list. Whereas Incineroar is a secondary Dark type, which means it's not eligible for the Dark list. Also, something else to note is that I won't be adding Flying type Pokemon to this list. Since most Flying Pokemon have Flying type as their secondary typing, I'm going to give them their own special video. So with the basics covered and the top 5 of my other typings in a playlist down below, let's get into today's video. And of course, if you're a new viewer and you enjoy the video, don't forget to meaty and mash those like, share and subscribe buttons. So you can obviously see by the title that today is the Dark type list. And kicking things off with my Dark type list is Darkrai. Darkrai was first introduced as one of the legendary Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl, and it was accessible by going to New Moon Island and catching it there, which I did, legitimately. I didn't really use it too much outside of a few fun battles because it's in the Uber tier because it's a very strong Pokemon. It has a great special attack, a great speed, and its design is really good on top of that as well. I especially like the Dark Void Bad Dreams combination, and the whole nightmare theme is really nice. Because of all that and the way they did the Pokemon movie that Darkrai was in, which was number 14 I believe, I thought I should add it to this list. So moving on to the next Pokemon. The next Pokemon is one that was introduced in 3rd gen. Of course, it's Sableye. Before the introduction of Fairy type, Sableye had no weakness, so obviously that meant it was quite powerful defensively. I say quite powerful, but what I actually mean is, up until it got Prankster in Generation 5 or a Mega Evolution in Generation 6, it just wasn't that good. But that's not the reason why I liked it anyway. For me, it was always about Sableye's design. I remember first catching one in Sapphire down in Victory Road. Just the gems for eyes and the just dark feel of it was really cool. Obviously now it's a lot better for competitive play, which is obviously a good thing, but it still needs to keep an eye out for those fairies. So I made a video back in May 2016 stating that Umbreon was my favourite Dark type. After really thinking about it and checking out all of the other Dark types, I came to the conclusion that it was not my favourite Dark type. So here it is placed on this list. Don't get me wrong, Umbreon is a great Pokemon. It has great stats and I really like its design. The first time I got an Umbreon was way back in Silver. At the time I had no idea that there was 2 new evolutions, and while training up my Eevee at night time it evolved, so that was a pleasant surprise. I've used Umbreon in a number of teams in the past and I always nickname it Zama, so definitely a cool Pokemon in my opinion at least. So I can see this being a lot of people's favourite Dark type, but for me it's not. It is up there though, so don't hate on me too much. Obviously a Hydreigon is a powerful Pokemon, being able to put out a lot of damage, and it has a great design as well. I really like the type Dark Dragon along with its stats that back that up, and on top of that with the ability to levitate, it all makes sense and comes together nicely. Of course, like many of the other dragons, it does have some glaring weaknesses, but it can really put out a lot of damage. And while it's not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, it does have some nice resistance as well, so that definitely makes up for it. Overall, it's a great Pokemon. I've used it quite a lot in 6th generation, and yeah, I think I will continue to use it even now. So my number 1 spot is Weavile. Weavile is a dark type Pokemon that was introduced in Generation 4 because Sneasel was one of my favourite Pokemon in Gold and Silver. I felt like this was a great step for them to make. Weavile has some great stats and some great moves as well, and it's really threatening in competitive play. Even in Sun and Moon, with the introduction of so many fairies, I feel that it still could do a great deal of work. Unfortunately, its biggest flaw is a lack of ability, but as for everything else, I can't fault it, and it definitely deserves my number 1 spot. I hope you've left me your list down below, and yeah, I think that wraps everything up. So that's going to cover it for today's video. As always, I'll leave some more videos in a playlist down in the description for you guys to check out. But if you don't want to do that, why don't you check out one of the videos on the end screen card. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end, and if you did enjoy it or learn something useful, don't forget to meaty and mash that like, share and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Laters!